I'm Andrew Henderson in Istanbul, Turkey. This is Nomad Capitalist, and today I'm going to show you a tour of my new apartment right here in Istanbul. I bought a property in Turkey because I wanted to understand what it was like to go through the process for those who want citizenship by investment or those who want to invest less and get residence by investment. Turkey has two very interesting schemes where you can get residence by buying pretty much any property, and you can get citizenship by buying a property that's worth the Turkish lira equivalent of 250,000 US dollars or more, and that appraises for that amount. And so they've done that to cut out a lot of the funny business. I chose to buy a property in Nişantaşı, what I believe is the most beautiful and luxurious neighborhood in Istanbul. It is one of the most secular, one of the most open, one of the most international places in all of Turkey. And it is widely considered the most desirable place to live. You have Louis Vuitton, you have Hermes, you have Prada, Brioni, some of the best cafes. It is one thing to do after the other. You can really have a great lifestyle, not only enjoying Turkish tea and East-like hamburgers, but also enjoying some of the most luxurious boutiques and restaurants, and one of the best places to see and be seen in all of Istanbul. I've been coming to Turkey for nearly a decade now, and each time there's always something interesting to experience. I think a lot of people who come to Istanbul for the first time miss out on areas like Nişantaşı, some of the great restaurants we've shown before, Başköşe, just a great restaurant to go and enjoy Turkish cuisine, Turkish service. And I want to show that to you. And I want to show you what you can get if you're interested in the residence, if you're interested in the citizenship. It's something that I never quite knew if I would do, quite frankly, but I wanted to put myself in your shoes so I could talk to the people we work with here at Nomad Capitalist about my experience buying property in Turkey. And the reason I bought a used property, a resale property rather than a new property, was I believe that was the best way to get value, because you have in some areas a housing shortage, and yet in other areas the reason the citizenship program exists is you have so much inventory that I recommend people buy resale properties. It's a lot harder to find, but you're going to skip some of the high commissions, some of the wheeling and dealing that goes on when you're buying properties directly from a developer. To me, Istanbul is fascinating, and even though the Turkish lira has gone through a tremendous devaluation, I think there are some very interesting opportunities if you buy in the right area. Most of the inventory you buy is just garbage, but if you do your due diligence, if you work with the right people, you can buy property at a tremendous value in the economic hub of a country that has higher birth rates than so many places in Europe, that has a growing manufacturing base. Jim Rogers talked about this 20 years ago almost as a place that realized that it doesn't need the European Union, which it tried to join for some time, but rather the EU needs Turkey. And if I look at the long term, if I look 20 years from now, I believe that Turkey will be in a stronger position. I think there is opportunity here. I think you've got an international hub. And what we've seen in the last year and a half is that having some kind of access, having a home in a very international place that's easy to get to, might not be the worst thing to have as a plan B. And if you can get a passport because you'd like one thrown in as part of the deal, then that's not a bad thing to do. And so what I would caution you as you watch this home tour is, look past some of the imperfections of the home. Look past some of that in understanding that for me, trying to get my capital out in the future, being able to sell this property in the future, liquidity was very important to me, more so than just saying I wanted citizenship. Because again, I never knew if that was the path for me. I wanted to study the market, and I feel like this resale opportunity is really one that's worth looking at. And now, without further ado, here is my property in Istanbul. So we're in front of the apartment right now. This building is about 35 years old, which I found for some renovation projects I really like, because you get a bit of a lower price. You have a lot of renovation potential. If you're gonna renovate, you might as well renovate. So we're gonna have to cover up a few things out here. We're gonna make some improvements. We're gonna get a new door, but come on in and see our project. Gotta watch your head coming in. So I'm back with Keith, one of our real estate experts here in Istanbul. Good to see you again, Keith. We did this deal a number of months ago. It was about 280,000 US dollars. And one thing that we've been popularizing in your real estate community is a new term called DTLV.
That's right.
This is
viral.
this is distance to Louis Vuitton. And in a great city like Istanbul, I think it's a good metric, how closer you are to the luxuries people want. So $280,000. And the issue here in Turkey is you don't measure square footage or square meters the same way as everyone else.
Yeah, that's right. You have the gross square meters and then the net. In this case, we have about 125, 130 internal.
Inside.
Yeah, but we also have a really large garden area with terrace garden, which is about another 40 square meters.
So the whole thing was like 180 square meters.
Yeah,
but what that includes is your fraction of the elevator on the floor, your fraction of the inside, your fraction, like everything. But we've got a couple of square meters of outdoor space there. Big outdoor space we'll see in a moment, and then about 130 under roof here. So you kind of have to do your own measurements in Turkey to figure out exactly what the property is when you see that 180 on the sheet.
That's right. On the title deed, the number that's recorded is not the accurate measurement of the net square meters.
What you're sleeping under.
Yeah, exactly. So we do that ourselves when we do our square meter calculations.
Well, let's take a look inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in two great built-in bookshelves in each of the corners to have symmetry. We're going to bring out the other part of the wall on the right and put in a fireplace, an electric fireplace in the middle to really give a homey feeling to this. Knock out these doors here, bring in great double doors from the hallway, really expand the entryway. And then Keith's idea over here, so you've got a great dining area, you've got lots of natural light, but the idea was, let's open this up even more. You've got this old style kitchen that was very popular in Turkey decades ago, but you want to knock this whole thing out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody wants an open kitchen nowadays, and also it extends the living space. Okay, it's a reasonably good sized living room, but if you knock out this wall and make an open kitchen, it also adds to the living area in many.
So we're gonna have a nice bar here. We're gonna have some really nice space, and hopefully get some furniture in here because we have a bit of an echo. The other thing we need to do here in the renovation is knock out and raise these doors, because when you're almost 2 meters tall, this is not going to work. So you can see this is a work in progress. We've got a kitchen that you've got gas pipes hanging from the top. This is older. Now I insisted that these cabinets stay. But they said no, they have to go. So we will replace all the cabinets. We're going to knock out this wall right here. You're going to have open floor plan. You're going to have a nice bar, have some wine storage on this side, let people sit, little breakfast nook bar area. Cabinets all the way throughout this little kitchen. This right here, they had a great idea. This is why I love some of the designers here in Turkey, is we're going to knock this window out and make it a full width sliding door, move the radiator, which I think you probably don't need as many of them, and make this outdoor area just a little sitting area to come out from when you're in the kitchen or when you're enjoying the bar. So entirely new vibe. We've got a lot of ideas for hanging, pots and pans from here. We're going to turn this door into a hidden door, so when you're coming in from the hallway, it looks nice and clean. You don't want to have too many doors next to each other, but you've got a very 1970s, 1980s, I'm guessing, looking, with the original tiles. So this all has to go. So you'll have a hidden door here, flush with the rest of the wall. I think that'll be really nice to make this hallway feel nice and long and spacious. What you've got right here, I don't know what this is, but I think this was being used as basically a laundry room, really tiny room. But we decided, one of the challenges you see in some of these older construction properties in this part of the world is you see one bathroom. So you've got 3 bedrooms here, you've got 1 bathroom, and you've got a washing machine. We're going to make this a small powder room. We've already measured out, you've got a small room. I think we're actually talking about moving this door here. So you can do a lot of stuff, you can flip everything around, put just basically a small powder room. So you've got a guest room, you've got something for kids to use. That would be a great use of space. And I think it really, from what they tell me, increases the resale potential for the kind of families that want to live in this upscale neighborhood. So this is the main bathroom. You've got 1 bathroom here. And again, you're knocking everything out, as much as you love these pink tiles from heaven knows when. His and hers sink, redo everything. You're now going to move the laundry facility, the washing machine, the dryer, all in one into the bathroom. You're going to have your heated towel rack. You're going to have a walk-in shower. We decided against a tub. We can have a wall-to-wall walk-in shower, plenty of storage space. Everything's got to go. But when you're done, I think it'll be a really nice bathroom for the main bedroom. All your tile here is going to go. We're going to have big, beautiful mirror entryway here. You've got a lot of space. What you can also do is potentially, you got this window that goes out into the light well, where the light comes down from the top of the building to give more natural light inside. You could potentially even cover this up with a wardrobe. You could cover it up with a closet. What do you think? Leave a comment below. They're trying to say, maybe put in a wardrobe here. I like the natural light. Let me know what you think in the comments. You've got in all these old projects, not difficult, but people come in and see this kind of stuff. They see, light boxes and all kinds of, this can all be rearranged beautifully. And it's something people see and it's ugly. It can be fixed, and that's exactly what we'll do. This door is super secure, and I love these super secure doors that are so common in this part of the world. Unfortunately, it's ugly and it's too short, so it has to go, but the security features here definitely pretty good. Come on down. This room has no light. This room has absolutely no light. So this room, bedroom number 3, I think would make a great office. You've got space. We want to do kind of a built-in bookshelf behind us with some art. You've got room for a desk in the middle. You can rip this up because you do have a rather uneven and falling apart floor. Actually put in floor electricity, bring it up to your desk. You have some natural light. You have the ability to look out on what's going to be much nicer out here. We're going to put in some artificial grass. We're going to put in a little seating area out here so you can come in from the kitchen, enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning if you want to sit out just as a little urban sanctuary. That'll be very nice. But this will be a nice little office, and we'll make sure to get some light. So this is a nice bedroom number 2. And my idea here is you want to, instead of lowering the window in this room, you want to raise it up just a little bit. The windows are going to be replaced. They've got some problems. But put in a beautiful desk here for your kids working, if it's a kid's room, your guests working on their laptop. Frame this window with some built-in wardrobes. They're small for a guest or for a child. And then you've got a little bit of room for a queen-size bed, little reading area over there. Now, Keith, this room, when I looked at this originally, this has the biggest problem in terms of, this floor is really a mess, and they were ripping this up. Demolition is important here. What happened?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of demolition in this flat because we have to take up all the tiles outside, all the flooring, all the windows, all the doors, remove walls, etc. This flooring here, there was probably some water damage at some point. You can see the original flooring underneath this cheap laminate is the original herringbone.
And even that's not very even.
That's also shot. So we're going to take that all out.
Back to zero.
Back to zero.
The level of, first of all, the amount of services available in Turkey, the available furniture. Compared to a Montenegro or even a Georgia, other places in this region, you've got everything here for sale. I was just walking around a couple weeks ago, and I happened to stumble on the perfect sofas for my house in the window of a store. Everything you want is here, which is different. So if you're coming from the US, you're coming from Canada, the UK, this is going to be substantially easier for you to find stuff than it is in some of the smaller countries. What's also interesting to me is the quality of the quotes and the work and everything that we've been talking about compared to a lot of emerging markets where it's much more informal, which is very nice and it's easy and people are laid back. But here it's very detailed what you're getting, and the price to demolish everything is going to be about what?
I think we got a price of about $1,700.
About 10, 11,000 lira, I think.
10, 11,000 Turkish lira.
So
that's for the demolition and
1,000 lira. Rip everything out, take it out. This is the main bedroom, and it's not huge, but it's a nice space for a family home. We've measured this. You've got a nice room for a king bed. You've got room for all the storage space you need, and then all the way across this wall, you've got a nice wardrobe going all the way across. We'll put that in. Plenty of space. What I like about this house is you do have nice, simple moldings. I like the nice, simple touches. I think for the theme we're going to go with, that's really nice. And so if you want to see, again, more of what we're designing with the house, what our ideas are, leave a comment below. We'll do more on that later. But very simple. Put a TV in this wall, mount it right inside so it's flush with the wall. I think you can do a lot with this. Put a little sitting area. You've got a lot of space. As much as it doesn't look huge, and it's not huge, but you've got a lot of space to just have a couple different areas to really enjoy the main bedroom. Now let's go outside to what is probably my favorite area of the apartment. This is what they call the winter garden, and this is what people sit out in the winter. How does it come up with that name, Keith?
I'm not really sure where that name derives, but yeah, the climate's pretty good, so you could almost sit out here many days.
I've been here like mid-December. How cold will it get?
Well, it can snow, so in theory it gets below zero, but most of the time...
3-4 degrees Celsius?
Maybe 5 to 10.
Yeah, 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. So you've got, you say about 30 meters. I was thinking about 25 meters. You got this really weird thing here that I'm not sure if we can get rid of and open up space or flatten out. At least they cut the tree back since we bought it.
Yeah, that's right.
But this needs to have some work done with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll cover that.
And the idea is trees, those big like Tuscany trees, some kind of tree all the way around. Privacy there, privacy here, privacy over there. And then owing the fact that you are on a lower floor here, you've got these kind of bars in the window, which we're going to make look a lot nicer. But you want to have privacy from all the neighbors here. You are in the middle of an urban area, an upscale urban area. This is definitely, a couple streets removed as we talk about, so you have some older buildings, but this area was really developed quite some time ago. And so if you want newer buildings, you're going to be going further down, further into areas like Beaumonte. So this is going to be a lot of older product, but you can build the privacy from there. And I think this will be very nice. Some people actually enclose these, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Like a true winter garden.
How does that cost? Because the renovation costs here seem lower than a lot of places in the region. What does it cost to just enclose this like a glass box?
I think to make it a truly enclosed garden here, you'd be adding about $5,000 to the cost.
I think it's beautiful. You come in the summer, it's nice. You come in the winter, you put on a sweater. It's actually rather comfortable. There's a certain charm to coming here in December. As long as it's not like rainy and everything, it's actually kind of nice. So again, little things like these boxes you want to take out, everything needs to be cleaned up. You remove the tile, something really nice. It's going to look entirely different by the time we're done. We're going to have it like Chapultepec in Mexico City, the beautiful palace, and we're going to have those black and white tiles, beautiful kind of just really nice classy tiles. This all has to go. Pipes covered up, trees. I think it'll be a beautiful garden. Yep. This is a great, when you think about outdoor space in the middle of an urban setting, this is really about as good as it gets in this price point especially. Yeah, and so with the Turkish lira that has gone down, people are getting good values. Prices have been going somewhat up in lira terms in the last year or so. The lira has lost, 8 or 9, 10% against the dollar, depending, it's been somewhat volatile. But for people who want the citizenship, this is a property that gets you in at the lower end of the citizenship. It's a little bit harder to appraise this, correct?
Yeah, but actually these properties will appraise. 99% of the time we're getting the full appraisal of the market value, so that's not really a problem.
But you're probably not spending the $250, you're probably spending a little bit more into the high 200s, something like that.
If you include the renovation, you'd be spending more.
Yeah, so you're buying in for, let's say, $280 in this case, you're doing a renovation for maybe really nice, 45, 50,000, you demolish it, you do it all up to a beautiful standard, and you've got a property that's in an area, in my opinion, a city that's growing. You've got a country that actually has a birth rate, unlike Europe. We're supposed to talk about that, but you've got, I think, a lot of interesting things. If I look at a long-term perspective, 20 years from now, I think it's not a bad place to park a little bit of money. If you want the residence or if you want the citizenship, you can go and get that. You don't have to. But not the worst place to take 1%, 2%, 3% of your net worth and just say, here it is.
Yeah, I agree. I think for the CBI too, a lot of people are doing like a stack of properties, maybe one property like this, maybe a smaller one, and then a new build project for like diversification. So some people don't want to buy 2 or 3 properties and involve themselves in 2 or 3 separate renovation jobs.
There are some issues. People just think it's a matter of like you go to a Caribbean citizenship by investment, making a donation. It's a little bit more difficult here. The dollars have to convert into lira. You want to leave yourself room for what's the central bank rate the day that the transaction's done. You don't want to come up a couple $1,000s short. You don't want to, come in a couple dollars short on the appraisal. So there's different things that have to be measured. It's not entirely in US dollar terms. There are some complexities. If you're buying different properties, how do you do that? There's some workarounds on that. And, from there, how do you make the most of these properties? So this is the tour of my new property in Istanbul. It's going to be a great place for family, friends, colleagues of mine to come and stay over. Great international hub. Come and spend a day, come and spend a week on your way to wherever it is that you're going. If you want to get that residence or citizenship, interesting thing in the crazy times that we're living in to say, I'm going back to my home from anywhere I am in the world to get me on the nonstop flight to Istanbul, and I've got a place where I can come and live that entitles me to some status here, if that's what you want to do. Don't stop now. We've got well over 1,000 more videos here on YouTube for you to watch and learn how to go where you're treated best. And if you want to work with Nomad Capitalist personally, go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, learn about our unique, tried and true process, garnered over years of experience, and learn how you can become our client.